I love both those comments. One, lower the bar about what has to happen before they become a mentor. And then also giving them that affirmation and thanking them and having that appreciation to kind of close the loop and continue and feed back into that relationship, which is what conversations do. They're a give and take. Part of what we do at Key Conversations for Leaders is, my hypothesis is that conversations are the key. They are the key to growing ourselves and growing other people. Do you mind sharing, is there any conversations that stand out for you as having a significant impact on you and in where you are now and your mission?
Yeah, I think one really fascinating thing is when I reflect on key conversations I've had, many of them have been with individuals who, A, probably don't know it was so key for me, which speaks to the feedback loop. But one reason they don't is that it's a lot of people who weren't in an official capacity role with me. Some of them were random conversations where an individual is able to play this an amazing role of letting me see myself and where I was going. And one example of that is when I was at Cornell for grad school. I had gone straight out of undergrad. It was not a good fit for me. Cue back to the person who was checking the boxes, who was feeling lost, who said, well, then let's go to the Ivy League, because maybe if I check that box, then it'll all feel great. So there I was, quite miserable. And so I went to a career counselor on campus for graduate students and told her everything and was like, I don't know how to what to do, finish up the doctorate, where I'm going to go, and she actually just reflected back to me. It was one of the first people who just reflected back. Here's what I'm hearing. Here's what I'm hearing you say. And then she eventually paused and said, all right, so my job is to retain you at this institution. She's like, that is my job. So I'm supposed to tell you, it's all right. You're going to be fine. Buck up, get this doctorate done. You're going to be great. She's like, but what I'm hearing you say is this isn't the moment for you to be in grad school. You're not ready to know what you want out of this doctorate. And I was like, oh, sigh of relief, validation. Somebody saw what had been churning for months, if not years at that point. And it gave me permission to walk away, which was a huge moment, huge turning point. I never saw her again. It was a
Mm.
one-time conversation. And I reflect on it frequently, that she did me a real service of going outside of what her official role was to actually see me as a person.
I love that. That's so powerful. It's the little conversations that sometimes that little pebble can go in a completely different direction. So it's so awesome that she had the courage to do that. Awesome. And thank you for being willing to share. I want to also thank you so much for being here, but also want to find out what is the best way for our listeners, our audience to connect with you and find out more about your work and to help them find more meaning and purpose and all the other things we talked about.
Absolutely. So my website's probably the best hub for everything, which it's Rebecca F. T. So you don't have to write out the Fraser Thill because that's really lengthy. So RebeccaFT.com. And on Forbes, you can also search me out. And I have a lot of articles on Forbes careers about meaningful work and how we build more purpose into what we're doing every day.
Excellent. I'll put all of that in the show notes as well as a direct link. Again, Rebecca, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. And until next time, develop yourself, empower others, and lead by example.